Welcome once again, gentle folks. Thank you for your time. Thank you for logging on and watching my video. Hope you had a successful week last week and you had some great winnings. Well, for this week, German Bundesliga, we're going to jump straight into it and we're going to start on a Friday. We're going to start with Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Stuttgart. And for this game here now, I'm expecting Borussia Mönchengladbach to take care of business. Expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I would go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying 2-1 here in favor of Mönchengladbach. Otherwise, it could go up to 3-1. In terms of the handicap system, based on my predicted scoreline, I'm going to go with a draw. Three-way handicap system here we're using, folks, as usual. And we're on the base for this three-way handicap, the basis is Borussia Mönchengladbach win this one by a goal, but we're going to take a draw in the three-way handicap system. Alright, so recapping predictions for Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Stuttgart. I'm expecting Borussia Mönchengladbach to win, expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, we go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Borussia Mönchengladbach, and on the handicap system, we're going to take a draw. Alright, so those are my predictions for that game, and now we're going to move on over to Augsburg versus Eintracht Frankfurt. And for Augsburg versus Eintracht Frankfurt, I'm going to take Augsburg to surprise Eintracht here. Otherwise, I think it might end in a draw. Both teams to score, I'm going to say no, both teams won't score. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either team to win and both not to score. My humblest apologies. So Augsburg to win by a goal. Sorry, I'm getting the pronunciation messed up. I think I'm going a little bit too quickly here. I think Augsburg to win by a goal. On the handicap system here now, if you want to take something on the handicap system, I suggest you err on the side of stats, and that would be gonna take Eintracht here at +1. Alright, so this means that I should not lose this game by no more than a goal if they lose, because with +1 this means that they start the game a goal ahead. So that means that Augsburg would have to come when Augsburg scores one, then on the handicap system that's 1-0. Alright, so and Eintracht, who is the better team on paper, would be expected to win, but I do think that Augsburg can surprise them this weekend. Alright, so hey, let's head back up and do a recap for Augsburg versus Eintracht. I'm expecting Augsburg to win here. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying no. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. Either team to win and both not to score, that is, sorry. Predicted scoreline 1-0 in favor of Augsburg, and on the handicap system, I'll go with Eintracht Frankfurt at +1. Alright, so our next game is Borussia Dortmund versus Bochum. And for Bochum versus Borussia Dortmund, I'm expecting here Borussia Dortmund to take care of business. Both teams not to score. In terms of a combination, I'd say either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying here 2-0 in favor of Borussia Dortmund. And you go on the handicap system here, we're going to take Dortmund to win this one by a goal. We're getting $1.70, that's fine. Alright then, so recapping predictions for Borussia Dortmund versus Bochum. I'm expecting Borussia Dortmund to win. Expecting also both teams not to score. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. In terms of scoreline, 2-0 in favor of Borussia Dortmund. On the handicap system, I'll go ahead and take Borussia Dortmund to win by a goal as well. Alright, so those are my predictions for Borussia Dortmund versus Bochum. This one being held at Borussia Dortmund's home. Alright, so we move right along into the next game, and our next game is Hertha Berlin versus Bayern Munich. Alright, Bayern Munich seems to be finding their touch now, and that's good news for the investors over there. They've been hot and cold. They get unpredictable, the better term. But let's move on into the predictions. Alright, so for this game now, this game here, Hertha Berlin versus Bayern Munich. For this one, we're expecting Bayern to win. Expecting both teams to score as well, based on how Bayern have been performing in recent times. So we go with either to win and both to score. Pretty good scoreline for me. I'm saying here 3-1 in favor of Bayern Munich. In terms of the handicap system, I'll go ahead and take Bayern Munich to win this one by a goal. Alright. So, recapping predictions for Bayern Munich versus Hertha Berlin. I'm expecting Bayern Munich to win, expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Bayern Munich. On the handicap system, I'll go with Bayern Munich to win this one by a goal. Alright. So those are my predictions for Hertha versus Bayern, and now we're on to Hoffenheim versus RB Leipzig. Hoffenheim being at home versus RB Leipzig. This should be an interesting matchup. I'm going to take this one to a draw. Take this one to be a draw here, and game to be a draw. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of scoreline, I'm saying 1-0. On the handicap system, there isn't really a bet on the handicap system based on my predicted scoreline. But if you want, if I were to take one on the handicap system, I would go with RB Leipzig +1. Alright. So recapping my predictions for Hoffenheim versus RB Leipzig, expecting a draw in this one, expecting both teams to score. In terms of predicted scoreline, I'm saying here that we should have a 1-0 scoreline. In terms of the handicap system, I'll go ahead and take RB Leipzig at +1. Alright, as you know, we're using a 3-way betting system here, 3-way handicap system, I should say. And so there is always a basis, and the basis for this one is -1 in favor of Hoffenheim. Alright, but I'm taking the third option, which is RB Leipzig at +1. Alright. So it's like American football where you have the spread and you have the plus side and you have the minus side. I'm taking the plus side of 0.5. Alright. So let's say we have a 0.5 spread. I'm taking the plus 0.5 side of the spread. Alright. Just another way to explain it. Alright, so let's move right along into our next game, and our next game is Mainz versus Wolfsburg. Mainz versus Wolfsburg. This game should be an interesting one, as usual. I said, Mainz is usually a tough team at home. It's not going to be easy for Wolfsburg, but wouldn't be surprised if this one goes either way. Alright, so, but I'm going to go with Mainz here to take care of business. Both teams not to score. In terms of a combination, I could go with either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying 2-0 here in favor of Mainz. On the handicap system, I'll go ahead and I'll take Mainz to win this one by a goal. Alright, Mainz to win by a goal, $3.50. Alright, so recapping predictions for Mainz versus Wolfsburg. I'm expecting Mainz to win. Expecting both teams not to score. In terms of a combination bet, I would go with either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline 2-0 in favor of Mainz, and I also have Mainz to win by a goal here on the handicap system. Alright, so those are my predictions for this game, and now we're going to move on to the next game, and our next game is Bremen versus Schalke. And for Bremen versus Schalke, Bremen being at home here, as I said, Bremen is another team that you can't really predict what they're going to do until on the day. Yeah, they had a late winner last week, if memory serves me correctly. Maybe not late, maybe with about 10 or 15 minutes to go in the game, scored a goal there. Alright, so predictions for this game are Bremen versus Schalke. I'm going to take this one to be a draw, and I'm going to say here both teams to score. In terms of my predicted scoreline, I have 1-1 draw here. As I say, whenever we have a draw, really a bet on the handicap system. But if I were to take a bet on the handicap system, I would go and I would say, alright then, I would go with Bremen, and I'll go with Bremen at +1. $1.20. Not the nicest odds, but it's good enough. Alright. So recapping predictions for Bremen versus Schalke. Expecting this one to end in a draw, expecting both teams to score as well. And predicted scoreline, I'm saying we're going to have a 1-1 draw. And on the handicap system, I'm going with Bremen at +1. Alright, so those are my predictions for Bremen versus Schalke. And this is how the cookie, well done, this is not yet. Hold on, that's not how the cookie crumbles for this week. I have 2 more games left. Sorry, my humblest apologies. And we're gonna go to Bayern Leverkusen versus Union Berlin. Bayern Leverkusen versus Union Berlin, and for this game, I'm expecting both teams here to score. Giving Bayern Leverkusen the win here. Both teams to score. In terms of a wrong combination bet, either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Leverkusen. And the handicap system, go ahead. And I'm going to take Leverkusen here at a draw based on the 3-way handicap system, that is it, based on my predicted scoreline. Alright, so recapping predictions for Bayern Leverkusen versus Union Berlin. I'm expecting Bayern Leverkusen to win here. I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a combination bet, I will go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Bayern Leverkusen. And on the handicap system, we're going to take a draw here. As you know, we're using the 3-way handicap system. We're going to take a draw. Basis for this handicap here is -1 in favor of Bayern Leverkusen, that is. Alright, so we're going to take a draw based on my predicted scoreline. So those are my predictions for Union versus Bayern Leverkusen. And now we're going to skid on over to the final game for this game week, which is Freiburg versus Cologne. We're going to clear this up. Freiburg versus Cologne now. Freiburg being at home. Freiburg usually a good team at home, expecting them to win. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm going to say here, no, both teams won't score. In terms of a combination bet, you go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying now 2-0 victory here for Freiburg. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Freiburg to win this one by a goal. Alright, so recapping predictions for Freiburg versus Cologne. I'm expecting Freiburg to win, expecting both teams not to score either. And in terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline 2-0 in favor of Freiburg, and on the handicap system, I'm going to take Freiburg to win this one by a goal. Alright, and so this is how the cookie actually crumbles for this week for your German Bundesliga predictions and betting tips. I hope you had a wonderful week last week and you're having a wonderful week this week. Again, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell whenever you subscribe, and thank you for your time and happy betting and happy winning. Good luck.